Hi friends, I'm Abby and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing my mid-year review, chatting through what I've been reading for the first half of the year, but basically just reflecting on the goals video that I did at the end of 2020 alongside the 10 series that I wanted to start in 2021. So looking at both of those videos and seeing how I'm doing compared to them and just checking in with where I'm at and thinking about what I can do to achieve the rest of the goals in the second half of the year. I won't have too many stats because I haven't looked into them. So you've got like there won't be like the breakdown of all the stats of everything that I've been reading with all the different genres or all the different stats. I will save that for the end of the year. There's just a few here, but not very many. So my Goodreads goal for the year is to read 75 books. Currently, looking at all the books that I finished between the 1st of January and the 30th of June, I have read 54 books, so way ahead of schedule. That's going very, very well in terms of my number of books that I have read this year. I'm very impressed with how much I've been reading because, like, I hit 100 books last year, and I hit 100 books a couple of years ago as well. But I didn't think I would be because I had more work this year. Like, I've been working as opposed to last year where I had 4 months of being on furlough. So I'm very impressed with having read 54 books. This comes to a total of 23,634 pages with an average of 438 pages per book. So I'm happy with that. That seems to make sense with what I generally read. Like, I generally read, I'd say 400 to 500 page books. Like, that is my average where I feel comfortable, where most fantasy books are in the 500 plus range. So very happy with my average. One of my big goals is to finish series and get my number of incomplete series number down. So I believe I started the year with like 35, 33. I was in the 30s when I started this year and I'm now at 28. So it's gone down. It has gone down significantly. I'm in the 20s now, which is a positive step forward, but there's still a lot of work. I did get it down to like 25, 26 back in April, and then it creeped back up again. So it's now at 28, but I have finished 7 series so far, and I did put a goal of 10, but I don't think I was anticipating, when I said I want to finish 10 series, I feel like I want to finish 10 series that were on the list already, and what I've done is I finished 7 series, but some of these series I have started and I've read the whole thing this year, and so it hasn't made the number go up or down because I started it and finished it. Although yes, I am on track with that, finishing 10 series, or more than on track. I feel like that number actually needs to grow because in an ideal world I'd get that number below 20 series, but it becomes a bit challenging. I've noticed this because I was looking at this the other day, that getting this number down is going to become a struggle because of the number of series that I'm up to date on. That I have less than 10 series where I can actively continue reading it, where I have books and I can actively continue. Whereas the vast majority of these series, I am waiting for the next release. And some of these series are not going to be finished for many, many years, because that's where they are. Like, I've read the first book in a big series, like I've read The Way of Kings, but I'm not going to be able to finish that series. I'm not going to be able to finish the Stormlight Archive until I'm ancient. So that series is going to stay on this list for years, and it's sort of stuck there. So it's very hard for me to get that number, to lower it below a certain amount because of all of these incomplete series that I'm waiting for the next release on. So I was looking at it and I was like, okay, to get it below 20, I need to finish everything that I can finish, everything that will be published by the end of the year. Like, I have to finish everything, which makes it a bit unrealistic, because am I really going to finish everything that I can finish? I don't know. And that means I can't start anything, which I don't think it's realistic to get it below 20. So I think if I get it in the lower half of the 20s, then I will be happy.
I was talking to some friends this week about this dilemma with my series, and they said that I should view them separately, that there are incomplete series which are incomplete because I could read them and I haven't, and there are incomplete series which are incomplete by the author, and I should view them separately. So potentially I should be looking at this more, that I have 10 incomplete series that I should be working on, and maybe I should be working to get that number down to like 5, and that's a bit more realistic than
My other goal was to read more sci-fi books, and that I have definitely been doing. I have read, out of my 54 books, I've read 7 sci-fi books. So that comes to 13% of my reading is sci-fi. I haven't looked up how many fantasy books there were, but I would assume like the vast majority is fantasy. But because I actively wanted to read more sci-fi, that's why I looked that number up in particular. And in the whole of 2020, I read 8 sci-fi books, so just 1 less so far this year in the whole of 2020. So I'm definitely on track for reading a lot more sci-fi this year. And I'm very happy with that, and I've been enjoying a lot of the sci-fi books that I have been reading, so I'm very happy with the increase in my sci-fi numbers, and I definitely want to continue reading more sci-fi and getting to know even more about that genre and what I like and what I don't like. My next goal that I wanted to look at was reading diversely, and one of the things that I wanted to increase was my reading of male authors, because I realised, I mean, it sounds really counterintuitive, like lots of people want to read more female authors and reading more books by women, but I was reading like 90% women, and in the second half of last year I got my numbers better with the men, because I realised I generally really enjoy books written by men, and so I was like, why am I not reading more of them? But this year it's been a much more even spread between men and women, which I like, and so I've read 21 books by male authors, which means 33 are by women. I'm very happy with that range. I don't think it's realistic for me to have more men than women. I'm happy having more women, but I'm very happy to have that slightly more balance between the genders. And I think that is because I have been reading more series by men. Like, I've read a lot of John Gwynne books. I read I read the Divine Cities trilogy, and so I have been reading series and reading them through by male authors. What I haven't done so well is with ethnicity. Only 12 of my 54 books, so 22%, are by non-white authors. It's not good enough, and I think where I've been struggling with this is that I want to read diversely, and I want to be reading from authors of different backgrounds and experiencing different stories. But where I struggle is that I have so many series on the go, and a lot of the series that I've been reading for many, many years are by white authors. And so by me actively trying to finish these series, I then end up focusing on reading these series by white authors, which is not very diverse. And so it's sort of how I balance out these two goals of finishing the series that are by white authors and reading diversely, and making sure that I try, and once I finish a series by a white author, that I replace it with a more diverse author. And so it's definitely something I need to work on in the second half of the year. I mean, having it's just under 25% POC, it's not amazing. I'd like to increase that maybe to like 40%, 50%. I would appreciate if it was higher. But the other struggle is that I want to be reading books that I am actively drawn to and actively interested in reading. And so I don't necessarily always want to be looking at a book and going, this is a book by a black author, and because they're a black author, I want to read it. I want to be going, this is a book that I'm really interested in reading, and it's by a black author. Or instead, and so it's sort of balancing that out, because I don't want to be reading a book just because of someone's ethnicity. I want to be reading books that really, really interest me and that I'm really, really drawn to. I mean, I am definitely really, really drawn to reading fantasy books that are inspired by like Asian history and Middle Eastern history, and so I feel as though that the publishing industry is giving us a lot more of those, and I'm very appreciative of that, because those are books that I really enjoy and definitely gravitate towards. But it's just I don't know if other people feel this, with like wanting to read diversely to be able to experience all these diverse voices and experience different cultures that I am not privy to, or that I'm not from, but not wanting to read diversely just for the sake of reading diversely. But definitely something that I would like to work on in the second half of the year. I also said I wanted to read a non-fiction and a classic, and I've not done either of those yet. I definitely plan to read Emma for my classic, Emma by Jane Austen. So that is my plan for my classic, but I have not figured out quite what non-fiction I want to read yet. And then for my channel goals, I just said to stick to my upload schedule, and that I have been doing. I've been uploading both Saturdays and Wednesdays, and I've been doing that consistently. I have started to not worry, but because work has been a lot busier, particularly in June and so far in July, it has been a lot busier, whether I occasionally go down to 1 video a week. I have managed to do 2 lately, but I have sort of been not scrambling. I used to be able to have my videos like done days in advance. I was ahead of schedule, whereas now I'm like getting things done just before I put them up. So it's a bit more stressful because I haven't had the time in the week to focus on my channel, and I'm having to do pretty much everything at the weekends, which then feels that I have less time to relax at the weekends, because I don't generally like to edit after work, because I feel like once I've been staring at a screen all day, I don't want to be looking at a screen even more. So I am sort of trying to figure out how I have a bit more of a balance between also wanting to read in the evenings and at the weekends, and having a social life. Like it's been a bit more of a struggle coming into the summer with the balancing. So far, you probably haven't noticed that, but I've noticed it. I said I wanted to do vlogs. I did quite a few vlogs towards the beginning of the year, and I've done a few less now. I felt like I was getting a bit burnt out because I did like the deep dive into sci-fi, and although I spread it out throughout the month, but doing these themed vlogs, being a mood reader, it's a bit of a challenge. Because I want to read what I want to read. So then I feel like I'm spreading it out throughout the month, and then I feel like I've got loads of clips, and then it's a bit like, oh, where are all these clips coming from, and trying to piece them all together. So I had paused a little bit on doing them, but I definitely have some like planned. I'm just preparing myself for doing another themed vlog. Like I haven't been ready yet for another themed vlog. I've got ideas. I've got loads of exciting ideas of themed vlogs to do, but I'm just not there yet. Reviews, yes, I've been doing reviews. I've been enjoying doing dedicated reviews, so no struggles with that. And live shows, I've done a few on my channel, but I've been taking part in quite a few as well, so definitely been doing them. And then my other one was like feeling like a real booktuber, and I think that definitely my confidence has grown as the years gone on. I'm definitely feeling a lot more like a real booktuber. I mean, I still have doubts, definitely. I definitely still have doubts, but I feel as though I am like feeling more and more like a real booktuber, and like I definitely have. I mean, my channel has come a long way since December when I filmed my channel goals and updates. I think when I filmed that video, I had maybe under 500 subscribers, and now I'm on 1,600, 1,700. So I've definitely come a long way in the past 6 months. I mean, not that subscriber numbers mean that you're a real booktuber or not. I'm not saying that at all. But I definitely feel like my channel has grown, and I've definitely put out a lot more content. I've been pushing out content regularly. And so as I have done that, and as I've been making content, and as my channel has grown, I have grown in more confidence, and I definitely feel like I have a lot more of a place on this platform. I mean, as I was saying, I have doubts, and like I still question exactly where I want my channel to go, and like what direction I want my channel to go in, because I want to make sure that all the videos that I put out I am proud of, and that the videos have value, and like giving value to the community, and whether that's value in that it's useful information and that and that it's information that I feel like should be shared, or whether it's providing just entertainment and fun. So I'm still trying to like figure out exactly what I want my channel to look like and where I want it to go in the future. And like I want that to be, obviously that's me and it's something for me to decide, in a sense that it's my channel, but it's also as a community, because yes, there's me behind the camera, but hopefully I'm building a community here with you, and so it's a collective decision as well, because I want to be making content that I want to make, but also the content that you want to see. So things that I will probably be thinking about forever with my channel and what I want to do, but it's probably just going to be a continuous goal of what do I want my channel to look like, and what do I want for the future. And then just quickly checking in on the series that I said that I was going to start in 2021, and I don't know if I will be starting all of these in 2021. So I listed 10 series that I was considering starting in 2021. The first one being The Traitor Barry Cormorant, not started it. The Women's War, not started it. The Black Prism, not started it. The Three Body Problem, not started it. Murderbot, not started it. Sleeping Giants, started it, and I've DNF'd the series. I read the first book, not interested in continuing. First one, The Lies of Locke Namora, not started it. City of Stairs, done it, read the whole thing. A Time of Dread, done it, read the whole thing. And The Way of Kings, done it, just read the first one. So out of the 10, I have read 4. So I've got 6 that I have not read. And out of those, I don't know how many I will actually get to this year when I think about it, because if I'm aiming to just read completed series as a whole. And I know that The Lies of Locke Lamora, say, is not going to be completed by the end of the year. So I don't know if I just put that series completely on the back burner until that series is complete, and then I could start it. The other ones, I definitely still want to read all of these. It's just fitting them in and figuring out when I'm going to read them. So if out of all of those 6 that I haven't read, then please let me know if you have a preference of which one you would want me to read first, or which one you think I would like and which ones I should be reading. I mean, I have so many other series here, so many series and books to read, an absolutely crazy amount. So I don't know if my priorities have shifted potentially since I made this list, and whether there are actually other series now that I'm more drawn to than these ones. I mean, I definitely am drawn to these because I own them all and I want to read them, but whether I want to switch those out, like whether I want to read The First Law or The Ship of Magic or Crown of Feathers, or whether I want to be prioritising those series over the ones that I said there. I guess at some point I will need to do a updated physical TBR because there is a lot of them and things have changed since I've done that. Though that is my check-in for the first 6 months of the year. Let me know how your reading has been going over these first 6 months. Let me know what you think I should work on, prioritise, what I should be reading. But thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye!